Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Coder Conversations. If you want to catch up on any previous episodes or contact us, visit us at www.coderconvos.com. I'm your host, Kevin, and I'm with.
Brian Russick.
Chicago's D.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're with Chicago's defense, but this is Brian Russick, professional drummer based out of the Suffolk County, Long Island, New York area. You can reach me for a lesson at brianrussick.com.
And yeah, for today's guest, we have Chicago defense in the house, man. Chicago's defense in the house. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. Highly appreciated.
Yeah, man. Just to get things started, can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Absolutely, man. I'm a rapper from Chicago, man. I believe in lyricism. I believe in subject matter, and I've been grinding, man, grinding. You know, when I
Yeah,
say this, I mean it literally. Like, I mean boots on the pavement, putting the flyers everywhere, and just trying to put forth a great message, man, the best way I can.
right.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of people they got the misconception that being an artist is just about having musical talent, but like you mentioned, there's a lot of grind that a lot of work that goes behind actually blowing your name up.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, can
Right.
you
Like a lot of marketing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A
That's the
lot of
limit.
marketing. Yeah, yeah.
so you must really love the art form to be able to withstand all of the work that goes into marketing yourself because you know a lot of people when they don't get success immediately they usually end up quitting. So like what keeps you going?
Oh man, honestly, man, I have how could I say this, man? I just got a burning desire to do so for one, and then two, man, it's like I had maybe three things that I'm really, really good at in life, and this was one of them, man. My time has expired on the other two, unfortunately. But life has its own way of teaching things. So here I go. And this is one thing that I cannot give up on, man. It was also my grandmother's fruition to say I would have a career in which I would speak to people in a very influential manner. I just didn't know how I would do it. So here I am, you know. Long
Oh,
story
wow.
short.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, I checked some of your
Thank you.
music out, man. You have like a really lyrical base. You know, it's not just like dance or party music. So it seems like you really have a message you want to get out.
Oh man, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, we come from a place that's very rugged. Um, a lot of chaotic things can take place, but it's a beautiful city. But again, I try to give it a balance of everything because I mean I come from outside too. I don't want to castigate the youth or just make them seem like they just doing something totally wrong. But I have to stir in the poison and the cure at the same time. I don't want to bore them to death neither because they he bored. Oh, I want to hear it.
Right.
I mean, I checked it out. It sounds pretty serious. It sounds like you're really focused on what you're doing, and you want to make a name for yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you just brought up a good point, man. Like when communicating with the youth, you can't just give them a positive message all the time. You have to make it entertaining, or else they're just not going to listen to it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, can you kind of tell us like your journey of music? Like when did you start, and how did you end up to where you are now?
Oh man, it started early on for me, man. Love for writing, love for poetry. I started writing poetry myself. Langston Hughes being one of my favorite poets. Uh, Again, reading books like I Wonder Why the Cage Bird Sings by Toni Morrison. It inspired me to write poetry, and then I began to freestyle. Which I was really good at. When I first started. So that was like my start to it. And of course, this was early '90s, so the Chronic, Doggy Style, all that came out. I'm going into my sister's room. playing the tapes back to back, Spice One, and it was real West Coast heavy, you know. But those are my early influences, man, and it made me want to just go. I'm like, oh yeah, this is for me. I love this. I love
Nice.
it.
So you kind of started off with the West Coast and then shifted over to the East Coast later, like in terms of influence,
Oh
or
yeah,
how did that?
yeah. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's like one of those things, man. I just heard Nas for the first time, and I couldn't believe how impeccable he was. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't believe it. It was like a thesaurus and a dictionary and the street all combined together. I was like, oh, this is great. Oh no, I gotta study this, man. I was just playing it back to back to back over and over. Then I got into it with Styles P and Jadakiss and the DMXs and like of course Jay. Everybody gonna say Jay. But man, the East Coast is the lyrics, man. The lyrics is what draw me to it. That's what I'm saying.
Like so for the West Coast, it was more so like the beats, like the groove, and then the East Coast is more the lyrics.
Oh man, for me, I would say uh West Coast more lifestyle, man. Cause even though, don't get me wrong, I know again I'm trying to be correct with what I'm saying on your platform, but the cultures are different, but it's the same. As far
Mhm.
as with the gang epidemic and things of that nature. So the lingo might be slightly different, but you can understand it because when you go outside, you bearing witness to the same things. Okay, they got this on, they doing that, they got this corner, they doing that. It's
Right.
almost the same. So you understand it like, oh, okay, but they doing a little different out there. It's a little sunny and they got
Yeah,
palm trees.
Right.
yeah. So you being from Chicago in the '90s, you kind of got to see the gang lifestyle firsthand. Like you go out and you see it. It's not just like something you see in a music video.
Oh man, it was totally different in the '90s, man. And again, each era has its own level of vices, man. But the '90s was way, way more rugged. And this is just my opinion. You could ask 1,000 people and they'll come up with different things to say. Unfortunately, in today's era and time, the civilian and the innocent are no longer being protected. It's just, you got some kids that'll be like, oh, it's a group of people. I think I should start shooting. When I was growing up, that was a no, no. It was frowned upon if you did something like that. Again, you was gonna face some type of repercussion. Is what I'm saying. You didn't want to do that. That was very frowned, and it was nasty. Like I mean, and it was more hand to hand combat too. Like it was shooting, but it was a lot of. It was just rough.
Yeah.
It was rough, man. It was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the '90s were a little different, but it was no
Oh
time
man.
like it though. I think the vibe then was just off the chain, just a little different.
Way different, man. Way different. I'll tell you.
Did you get into any of the like the Chicago artists at that time? Like in the '90s, I know they had like Crucial Conflict, Common, Do or Die, some of them.
Oh man, of course, man. Do or die. Twister with Paul Pimpin, they lit the city on fire, man.
Oh yeah.
Do or Die with Heads or Tails. Twister's Adrenaline Rush, that's our reasonable doubt. Like for
Yeah.
any hip hop historian would say, or our Illmatic, however you want to look at it. Like, oh my God, I can remember because every car that rolled past played something off of that album. Produced
Nice.
by the legendary Traxter. He don't get enough credit. Salute to that man. He's a great producer, top tier producer. I can't make it up. 96 Cutlasses, Bonnevilles. Of course, the old school Chevys were still around. That's just Chicago culture. Everybody was playing it. I mean, whether it was Overdose, Feel So Good, Adrenaline Rush with Buck Feature. Oh, man, it was crazy. It was a good time, man.
Yeah, it seems like albums in the '90s they really like just lit the whatever city it was in on fire. Like for example, Bone Thugs. Everybody was playing that. Tupac. Nas. They had so many big names.
Woo! Yes, sir. I agree 1,000%, man.
Like, what was what was like your top five? Just say in the '90s, like mid '90s. Who was you jamming on a day to day basis?
Ooh, top five mid 90s. Um, man, wow, that's a good question. Bro. I'm about to keep it on the Chicago side of things. So I'm gonna go Twister. We include in groups Do or Die. Of course Tupac, Nas, and I'm gonna definitely have to go with Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. Creeping up on the corner and
Yeah.
East 99 right after. I'm not gonna lie, I was a big Bone Thugs and Harmony fan too during that time, so for sure.
Okay. Now, what about like Biggie?
Biggie, I respect Biggie. I love Biggie, but a lot of people just put Big in their top five, but I'm not one of them people, man. And again, this is no disrespect to the bed style legend. I don't want nobody to take it the wrong way, but that's not my top five. But man, Big, legendary, man. I don't have anything else to say about him, but he made some great songs, man. Great songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about
And I'm
Big
New
Pun?
York biased too, man.
Are you throwing Big Pun, Ice Cube in the top 10?
Ooh, definitely Cube. Cube, oh man, one of the all-time greatest songwriters, man. I mean, oh man, I wish I could say this right. I might save it for later, but yeah, Ice Cube, he definitely in the top 10. And Pun is underrated, man. I just didn't get the opportunity to go as much into his catalog. I don't want to be a
Okay.
liar up here lying. Like, yeah, I know all this stuff. Like, he lying.
So from your top five influences, like what are some of the things you took from each of those artists, and how do you apply that to your style?
Oh man, another great question. Okay, my top five. First of all, Nazia Jones, Styles P, Shady Kiss, um, Fabulous. I know. A lot of people don't like Fab like that, and I'm gonna go with Cam for my fifth. And man, Nas, storytelling ability, the wit and intelligence. So that's three from him. Um, Styles and Kiss, they kind of similar to me, but Styles, I would say the depth, man, the spiritual depth, man, the way he pours his heart out into a lot of those songs. Kiss is just the witty punchlines. Same way with Fab, and then Cam, I would say this, just the style, just the overall style, man. The way he go on the track and just add his own emphasis on words and stuff. Like I listen to everything.
Yeah, what's so insane was when a lot of those albums were written, a lot of those people was like really young. Like Nas, I think it was 16 when he wrote his first album.
Right.
Yeah, he was young. He's definitely young.
Tupac passed at 26. That's when a lot of people are just really getting started with life.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, well, what do you think is like the difference? Like in the '90s, it seems like a lot of those artists was really ahead of their time, whereas now is, I guess, it's more of a dance. Like rap has become more of like dance music for in the popular parlance. Like they're not as lyrical in general. You know what I mean? So are you kind of trying to take it
Right.
back to the '90s with the focus on the lyrics first?
Oh, of course, man. Of course. I mean, my thing, like, music changes, and music is also subjective, but I just think a lot of people don't have the courage to go and just put together good music anymore. I mean, everybody just try to go with the wave because of social media. It's
Right.
like I always use this analogy. You got the microwave versus the stove. The microwave gonna produce something real quick for you, but then you put it in the stove. You got something that's you got to harden your meal.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want the heartier meal because it's like, man, wait, if I could put it in the microwave. for
It's too
for
much.
24
Yeah.
seconds, I'm good. That's all I need.
Right.
I'm not
It's
into
too
that, man.
much.
I want a real career, man. I want to be mentioned with the legends, bro. You know, that's just me. That's you know.
Hey, that's a great thing to aspire to, man. Just keep grinding, and you'll get there. But
Yeah, man. It take work though. That's what it is. You know.
oh yeah, yeah. Can you speak about that grind a little bit aside from just the musical aspect? Like, what do you really have to do to get your name out there and make sure you're getting to where you need to go?
Man. Honestly, I don't even have it all figured out, man. It takes everything, man. You got to literally take every part of you. Even when you think you don't have any more left, you just got to keep going. Because there's
Keep
been
going.
times where in my mind I was just like, man, I don't even know if I can do it. Like physically,
Yeah.
I don't even have enough to sustain myself. But I just keep going, come up with another idea, and just keep going, and just keep making it happen.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I really don't have it figured out. It's really hard, but if you want to do it, you just gotta make it happen. Like,
You just got to do it.
I
Yeah.
know
You
it
just got to
sounds
get out
simple,
there
but
and
it's not,
do
man. Yeah, you
it.
have to.
No, people think it's simple, like, oh, you just go to the recording studio and you drop a track. It's like, no, like there's street team, there's marketing, there's all this advertising, all this stuff going on.
Exactly, and you know, especially the with the music industry, it's not easy to make it in the music industry because there's like so many people that want that one spot.
Oh, hey, did we lose you?
Yeah, let me see. Okay, I think we might have lost them for a second.
Okay, we'll just give him a minute.
But yeah, I think like with the music industry, like yeah, you really have to want it. Otherwise, it's almost like tech. Like if you don't really like it, you don't really want it, you're not willing to grind, you're just not gonna make it.
Yeah, I mean, it brings me back to kind of like my musical career. When I was 22, I moved out to LA with a indie rock band. And this band, the band members, they did not realize what it would take to get big. And I did, just from doing my own research. I knew what people were doing. So, I'm sending out demos, I'm trying to talk to managers, I'm trying to book shows. And then I just have my band members dragging their feet, like not barely doing anything. And I'm like, look, like, you guys got to help me out a little bit here. But no, I ended up doing pretty much all the work. And at a certain point, I just said that, that's enough. Like, I'm tired of carrying you guys across the threshold, Like it got to be too much. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna book shows anymore because you guys are gonna complain about the show, like, oh, it's at a dive bar, oh, it's at this place. Like, look, we're a small fish in a very, very big pond in Los Angeles. And I feel like my band members just they didn't get that part of it. So ultimately we broke up about a year into it, and then we went our separate ways. I became a session musician, just playing with different artists, and I did that for a while until I came back to the East Coast.
Exactly. So like yeah, if you don't have that grind, if you don't have that hustle, it's going to be very hard to make it. Like even like in the tech industry now, it's like that. Like I just was just talking to a friend, and some of the stuff that they're having him do on the interviews is like pretty insane. Like we want you to create a library for us, like on the fly, like during the interview.
Oh wow.
And this is like kind of like this is like stuff that takes months to really get really get going, and they just want you to do it in the interview. Like it's pretty insane. So I guess like the music industry is kind of like that in a way. Like you really have to go hard if you want to make it.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's a lot of boxes to check. Like for me, I was trying to get us a manager, at 22, trying to find a manager. One woman I talked to, she said, "Okay, music business is different now. you can't just do the okay, the manager gets to 15%, manager gets to 20%. She's like, no, like I need to be paid up front. She's like, it's not like it used to be. There's not as much money. So she was like, I need to be paid. I think she wanted 25,000 or $30,000. I was like, well, look, we don't have that. And so she was like, okay, like I guess we won't work together. So that took me back. I'm like, and this is back in 2009. So it kind of let me know kind of where the music industry was headed into kind of a tougher direction, to be honest.
Okay, we got you back, man. Glad to have you back.
Hey,
But yeah, we can you hear us? Oh, I think it might have froze up again. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, man, 1,000 pardons, man. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened.
Oh, it's no problem. Yeah, we were
no
just
worries.
talking about like the struggles of making it in the music industry. It seems like you really have to want it, or else like all of the trials and tribulations is gonna make you stop if you don't
Yeah.
really want it.
Yeah, yeah.
So like from your experience, for like say if you was just giving advice to someone who wanted to come into music, what are some of the things that they should look out for that they might not really realize?
Ooh. Well, man, first of all, man, it's a business. Um, you should first know that whoever you buying your beats from, you should know if you're buying the rights to them or if you're leasing them. You should copyright your material, and man, you have to have a solid plan in place. You have to have um a primary source of income so that you can actually funnel it into your career. You
Into it.
know,
Yeah. People
you
don't get
need money. You need a consistent form of
consistent.
money to
You
do
need
this at a high level. If
you need
not, you're not gonna
consistently.
make it.
Yeah, absolutely. Consistently, you got to have a job that's generating some kind of cash to put into the advertising, for the marketing, on and on and
Yeah.
on. Or even I was just telling Kevin when we dropped off the call, I'm like, when I was 22, I'm trying to find my band a manager, and it turned out this one woman I talked to, she's like, well, I need like, she's like, it's not like it used to be the 15, 20% off the top. She's like, I need to get paid now, so like I need like 30,000 from you. I'm like, all right, well, I don't have that, so I guess we're not going to be working together. Pretty much.
Man,
Yeah, like if you
it
don't have.
definitely costs a lot of money, man.
Oh yeah, like I've heard people invest like just insane amounts of sums just into just for their studio, and like the record industry in general, how everything's set up. It's like they give you in advance, but you got to pay that back. You do a music video, you got to pay that back. So
Yeah,
yeah, the fact that you say you got to make a plan, you got to know what you're doing. That's necessary.
and learn what business credit is, man. I mean, um, like honestly, I learned about it late, but honestly, you can again funnel things into your business account. I mean, well, not account, but like if you get an LLC, and you can start like getting things done in that manner instead of paying for it strictly out of pocket.
Right.
Because honestly, that's what I did all up until this point. Everything came out of my own pockets. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't know everything. All I know is I had this talent and this gift, and I couldn't quit. Like right now,
Yeah.
so everything came out of my own pocket,
Right.
and I'm happy about it. I'm not upset. So
I mean, that's the thing. It's gotta come from somewhere. It's gotta come from somewhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I think like you being willing to invest in yourself, that just shows how serious you are about what you're doing, and that's what puts you a step above somebody who think it's just gonna come easy.
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Nothing comes easy, man. If it comes
No.
easy, And I mean, it's easily lost. At least
Easily.
that's how I look at it. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
True.
like you kind of spoke of having a plan. And I know like a lot of times rappers they get in the game, they make some money, and their idea of success is like I'm gonna buy a gold chain, I'm gonna buy a car, and then they buy this material stuff, and then once they're no longer hot, they no longer have anything to show for it. So like just in terms of investment strategy, do you kind of have a plan of like what you want to do? Like, oh, I want to buy a house, some land, or these assets, versus just spending it on something that loses its value.
Oh man, of course, of course. I mean, I'm in the dough at this point, you know. So it's like access is definitely more important to me than anything. Like, I mean, and not to brag, but man, I work a very, very physically strenuous occupation every day. So materially, a lot of things I already have. I really just want a career in music. Um, maybe some land for the kids. You know, I'm a simple guy, man. It ain't too much else I could really want. I mean, it's a few cars that I'm looking at, like, yeah, I like it, but again, I'm more about assets than liability.
Yeah.
Yeah, buying some land to me, that's like really the way to go because they don't make any more land. Once it's somebody owns it, that's it.
That's
So
it. Yeah.
I don't
You know
know
what I'm
why
saying, man?
more people in the music industry they don't buy land and show off their land. I think that would be cooler to see somebody's orchard, peach trees, or their brook, their spring, or whatever.
Vineyard,
You know what I mean?
whatever. Yeah.
And yeah,
Right, right, right.
Exactly. That's an investment right there. A vineyard.
That's because it's not gonna fuel the economy. That's why. I mean, we in a debt based economy. You know how that goes. I mean, I'm not
yeah.
trying to go too out there on you, but
Oh yeah, we could
Yeah.
get into it, man. We talk about that kind of stuff all the time.
Oh, we go
I'm
deep.
just saying,
We
we're in
go
a
deep, man.
capitalistic economy. I mean, that's not gonna help move the Mercedes off
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
the man. They like, no, we need you to get the cars. We need you to get more clothes. We need you to get in here. We need to get these Rolexes off
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
the shelf.
Like I even seen that in the music game. Like they have like the artists and they have them wearing like Versace or whatever brand they want to promote. They have Mercedes in the background.
Yeah.
It's like a walking commercial now. A lot of these music videos, and I wonder, do the artists really get compensated for that, or the labels just get the money and force it on the artist?
I think the smart ones do, man. I think that's where the sponsorships and the endorsements come in at. And that would only make sense for a brand. Like, okay, I'm a walk-in brand. Hey, if you want me to wear this or put this in the video, then I get XYZ amount for this. Then okay, boom. One, fair exchange ain't robbery. But just to
Right.
be holding up a bottle of alcohol or just to be seen
Yeah,
in this particular vehicle, no, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you got to know your worth. If you're gonna give
Yeah.
them advertisement, you should get compensated. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh no, absolutely. I was just agreeing.
Yeah,
And
because that's all it is.
Yeah.
I know the black community, we like the biggest consumers. So you're exposing these companies to a wide market if you put them in a video, and it gets you get popular. Millions of people see this product, and they want to do it because like, oh, he's cool. I want to do that.
Yeah,
I want to have that too.
Right.
yeah.
I think what's a trip to me is I thought P Diddy owned Ciroc, but I think he was just like, come to find out he only was like there to promote it, with
Oh, interesting.
Diageo. So I think
Oh wow.
it just really comes down to like knowing your worth and uh, not letting these companies get over on you. But I think the issue here's my issue, like in the black community, a lot of times the elders they don't really pass down any knowledge. So we're always
Mhm.
rediscovering the wheel, rediscovering how to do things generation after generation. Like did you have any mentors to really like teach you the game of music or just life in general?
Life, yes, not music. Cause honestly, man, again, man, I come from a long a long, like line of men that were tradesmen. My grandfather worked on the railroad. My father, he worked for the Chicago Housing Authority. They all worked with their hands. They did brutal labor and worked for long hours. So
Yeah.
what I'm doing is taboo. I mean, my old man's still here. He be like, man, you make great money doing what you're doing. Go and do music and shit. Talking to him is like talking to Fred Flintstone.
Forget about
Tool
it.
bags and get
Yeah.
dusty and go home and do the wife and the kid thing. You don't want to hear that. You're like, so no. Long story short, no, not for music.
Yeah, that is interesting. A lot of times, like the older generation, they have this formula for success, like just get a job, go to college, and just do that. A lot of times they're not really going to support doing something like music, starting your own business. Something that has a lower rate of success but higher rewards. So, like, what made you just say, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and take my shot at this"? I'm not, I don't want that typical life. Oh, oh, there
Man,
we go. We got you
man,
back.
honestly, man, it's so many different things, man. I mean, oh, you couldn't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
hear you.
we hear you now.
I think it's the weather here.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, we got you back.
I think it's the weather here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, let me hurry up because man, honestly, man, it's just to break the generational curse, man, of just one generation after another, of men just having to work the same type of way. And then again, like I said, going back to what I said earlier, man, debt-based economy. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I mean, as laborers, I mean, skilled laborers is down, man. We need carpenters, electricians, we need CDL drivers, but man, like the way the world is going and the way they just I mean, the prices of everything is so expensive, man. I cannot leave anything to chance. I can't leave it on the table because we just don't know at this point, man. And this is not me fear mongering, but this is just me preparing for what's ahead. Because again, everything is just so much more expensive now. It's just like I can't take a chance to just okay, I'm gonna stay over here until I retire. Well, who knows? They be like, oh yeah, you say you got a 401k. No, buddy, let me get it. I don't know. And again, this is not me trying to put fear into anybody. It's just me preparing for what's ahead. Because that's the way it looks like it's gonna go. I don't
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, that's the
look
reality.
at like rent of
know.
apartments. Like, okay, you go back to 2009. I had a one bedroom in LA, Hollywood area. I was paying 950 in 2009. And now that same street, that same building is probably 3,000. You believe that?
Woo.
Our
Not
salaries
I
ain't
can.
LA.
going.
But
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
man, it's just
LA. It's crazy.
yes, it is. Yes,
like
it is. That's a lot,
like you mentioned, it's all a game. Like the people at the top, they know how to set things up to where they're getting most of the proceeds of the labor, while the middle, the lower class are kind of getting priced out. And it's going to come to a
man.
point
Yeah,
where they don't have anything, like the lower classes or the middle class. So it's like you as an individual, you have to really take the step to make sure you and your family is okay.
that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Because some people they misconstrue the message. They might be like, "Oh, he think he better than us. He want to do more." No, it's just again, man. I'm a family guy, man. I got 3 children and a wife. I can't leave anything to chance. This
Right.
just is what it is, man. So that's my duty is to take care of them and provide, man. So I can't leave it. I can't leave it to chance to leave it on the table and just.
Yeah, exactly. Can't leave it to chance. And it's something that I kind of it was like really prevalent in the '90s. Like in the black community, like if you want to do better, it's like, oh, you a sellout. You some maybe you a Oreo or something like that. Like I wonder, like where did that attitude come from? Oh, you're a nerd. You're trying to get good grades. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to do the right thing and just provide, oh, you're
Right.
where where did that come from? I wonder.
Right.
I slowly see things changing, but that was really heavy in the '90s, and I think that's why a lot of black men ended up losing their lives trying to jump into the streets because they didn't want to be looked at as corny or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, but to answer your question, man, I think it's just a defeatist mentality. You know, when you're growing up in poverty and you don't have successful people that come from where you from that's still there, it'll put you in the frame of mind like this is where we belong and you're not supposed to leave. So if you
Right.
do want to leave, it's like, what makes you think you're better than us?
Yeah.
Like, why do you
Exactly.
want to leave? What are you doing? Like, you're supposed to be doing the same thing that we doing. We're supposed to struggle. This is where we belong.
Right.
You know? I don't know. Me personally, even growing up in those environments, I never felt like this is permanent. I don't care what you say. It
Yeah. Right.
never felt permanent. It's always like, man, I gotta find a way. It's not
So
normal.
you're like
What are y'all talking about?
your head is in a different area. You're super focused on this goal as opposed to people just sitting around on the couch saying, "Oh yeah, I want to do X, Y, and Z." But it's like, no, like
Yeah.
get off the couch and do something. Like, you're just talking, all talk.
The killer part about it, man, I felt hopeless before. I mean, we all felt hopeless, but I've never not done anything about it. No matter how I felt, I'm gonna still do something about this situation. Like because
Right.
again, you know, I don't wanna sully the platform, but I experienced a lot of my life, man. That's why I chuckle, I laugh a lot. Cause it's like my grandmother used to say, the saddest people show the most joy. I learned to laugh during certain situations. Never think that I'm undermining what it is that you said. But again, my experiences in life, I've been through a lot. So I just, but I can't stay there is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I refuse to just stay
Yeah.
there like, oh, I'm down. Oh, I can't beat it. Nah, I
Right.
got to get out
Right.
of there.
Right. Right. Right.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. I got to get out
I get that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's really important. Like you got it in the mentality of, the struggle exists. I'm part of the struggle, but that's not my whole life. I'm moving past the struggle to something greater. I don't just want to stay in the struggle, be 40 and have the same stories. I'm trying to do something better.
there. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, man. And
that's
it
what.
ain't easy. I understand.
Yeah.
It's not easy, man, but you have to though. It's mandatory that you do it for yourself. Mandatory.
Because the thing is, like, people are waiting around, like, for someone else to do it for them. It's like, no, no one's coming to save you. My dad used to tell me, he's like, you want something done right, you do it yourself.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
So yeah, like you know, I think we as men we should always have it to pass on to our kids a life that's better than ours. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
um, what plans are you taking? Like, what kind of legacy do you want to leave with your kids? Like, what are some of the more important life lessons that you hope to impart to them so that they'll do better than you did?
Man, that's a good question, man. Uh, well, for my son, he he already on a good track, man. Well, all my kids on a good track first and foremost. Now, honor roll students, they do well. They not even in the same environments that I grew up in, so that's already a plus. But again, I'm doing this so my son can see that he can use his intellectual property to build his legacy, unlike the previous generations in my family. That's the main thing for me. It's more than one way to become successful in life. I mean, and again, with our family bloodline, we already proved that we can mutilate our bodies, to make
Yeah,
a profit.
Yeah.
I mean, we proved it already, and now I want him to. Hey, you like AP and he loves computers. Do that, man.
yeah,
Right.
That's what I want you to do. I want you to do that. He a brainiac, and I love that
Right.
for him.
There you
It's like
go.
that's what I want you to do. Go and build something with a computer or something.
There you
An
go.
app. That's what you into. Beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the a lot of times we like to bag on the younger generation, but I feel like in a lot of ways, even starting with our generation, we made a lot of progress. 'Cause I know, like when I was in middle school, there was a lot of kids that they didn't even know who their dad was, whereas like now
Yeah.
I feel like black men are sticking around with their families. They like, hey, I'm not gonna do what maybe my parents' generation did. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be there. And now
Yeah.
there's a lot more variety in what you can be as a black man. You don't have to be like, in a gang or a rapper or, whatever.
Yeah.
Being that is cool, but you could be a computer nerd too, and nobody like really looks down on that. But when we was growing up, you couldn't certain things you couldn't really say you wanted to do or oh he's corny like like Steve Urkel or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. You're right.
Yeah, it's like to be cool, you got to be a basketball player or something like
Yeah,
that.
sports or something like.
Sports.
Like now there's a lot more variety. And I think that's a beautiful thing, like just being able to not be in that box. I think that's the big thing that we're breaking out of, during our generation, really.
Yeah. 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 I don't know, man. I think it all depends on like the people you're around too, because even with the most rugged conditions that we grew up in, um, my neighborhood, like the people, even myself, we never really made fun of people for carrying their books to school and stuff like that. Like that was something to be proud of even then. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like you said, the majority of people will be, oh, you a nerd, oh, you a lame, you got your books. No, leave them alone because you got a prosperous future, you going somewhere, you know. Like,
Yeah, I know, and I think like in Chicago, like education would probably value more because some of the organization stuff out there they kind of push that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas California gangs are more loose, you know what I mean? And in Texas, that's more of what we got, like the Bloods and Crips and that kind of thing. So,
yeah, here in Chicago, man. Like I said, you should have gave me like a like a discretion warning or something. Like what can I say? I can't say, but man, we had to go to school. That's all I can say, man. If you was caught on the curb on the corner during school hours, you was in trouble. That's all I can say. Man. That was not gonna fly. Like shorty, you a kid in school hours, right? You outside. That's not gonna fly with us. Again, you give us a black eye. We supposed to be your big brothers and your elders, and you out here hanging outside like no tomorrow. Now you got truant officers coming out here. Your mother complaining. They
Yeah.
didn't want that. They going yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
I bet you he be in school then. He not hanging with me. He going to school. We
Yeah.
dropping him off.
Exactly.
so like, I know you growing up in Chicago, there was a lot of like potential pitfalls. Obviously, you have like the gangs, the violence, things of that nature. Like, how did you avoid like falling, prey to a lot of those traps that were in the streets?
Man, I don't know about avoiding them all, but one thing I can say, and I'm proud of this, is I had my first child when I was 17. I'm not all the way squeaky clean. I had Shania when I was 17 years of age, and it made me a responsible adult very early.
Right.
And one thing about me, I don't know anything about retreat or surrender or bringing dishonor to my name or my family. So I just had to do what I had to do. I mean, at that time, I was Again, I had my own apartment. It wasn't nothing fly, nothing. I was still in cable and everything. You know, I was living on. I'm just being serious. Man. I don't want to make it seem like
Yeah.
I was just living like Fresh Prince of Bel Air or something. Man. I was, I had my own little bed and box spring and stuff, and my child came and it made me a different person. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Like a lot of times when a man has his first kid, he might be wilding in the streets, but it causes something to change in you. Like your mentality just shifts almost instantly.
Yeah. Now her and her mother was probably um my savior. If it wasn't for them, who knows? Who knows? I
Yeah.
don't want to speak ill onto my own life, but who knows? Who knows, man? Because I everything wasn't correct about me. So I can say.
It's like they say, like hindsight is 50-50. Like
Right?
you could easily look back at something later on and be like, "Oh, see, I told you, you should have done this." But it's like, no, in the moment, you can't see it.
Yeah.
You're too close to it to make that kind of decision. So maybe you go left when you should have went right. But that's just life.
Well, honestly, man, the sickening part about some of this stuff is like, I can honestly say I had a good upbringing. I won't blame my parents for anything, even though they split apart when I was younger. But at the same time, I mean, both of them was really good people, solid morals. It's just the upbringing and the environment. I mean, once certain types of drugs come into the community, and then you growing up with literally kids, man, who already pledged their allegiance to certain alliances. Like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm committed to it. You think about it, you in grammar school, you got kids with tattoos on their bodies already. They
Right.
pledging their allegiance to this, and it's like it's almost like being sit in the shark tank. It's either you're gonna become a shark or you're not. I just refuse to get hurt and harmed because again, now you're dealing with people who trying to earn a reputation for themselves and things of that nature. You're not gonna earn it off me. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I was
Like,
just saying
how
a
did
lot of stuff
you
used to happen back then, man. Woo.
how did you avoid it? Like, how did you avoid the pitfalls?
Man, I didn't avoid them all. I'm not gonna lie. Some I had to confront head on. It just is what it is, man. Because you never want to be seen as the person that's that's running from every complication. But at the same time, I was just always smart, man. I'm not here
Yeah.
to pick fights with anybody. But again, I just refuse to allow anybody to hurt me.
Yeah.
I don't care. You're not gonna hurt me. You're not gonna have me run a home every day without my coat and hat because that type of stuff used to happen to kids, man. Starter jackets came out. You had on
Oh yeah,
Jordans. They'll take your Jordans, take
Yeah.
your hat, your coat. We're talking about winters in
yeah.
Chicago, bro. I'm not gonna be going home without my coat, without my hat, without my shoes. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm so sorry. No, no.
Yeah,
And then over time, people tell they respect you. Like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. You might can fight, but he can fight too. You might want to be careful. So
man, that really brings me back. Like I remember the point you just brought up about the drugs. Like that's me growing up. I was around when I lived in like a military town, so it wasn't like the super hood,
okay,
but drugs still passed through, and you would have people selling like crack and cocaine out the houses down the street, and just to see somebody on something like crack, they're like a zombie like that. You know,
Right.
those were like different times. Like and gangs were more aggressive, really aggressive too. Like they pushed the line. Like, what are you? You know what I mean? It was just the 90s was a different time. Like it's hard to
Yeah.
explain to people what made it so different and special.
that's '90s Chicago for you. Same thing, man. Again, like when I was young, I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, crackhead to be 10 years old in, but I remember the payphones and the pages. Like again, like you said, pressing the line. What you is, where you from. You was getting asked that wherever you go. I don't care what area you went in Chicago. That was like the thing. It was you can go down the line. What you is, where you from, what gang you in. Like that's pretty much what it is. And you better
Yeah,
answer right. I don't care what neighborhood it is.
yeah, like
You couldn't avoid it.
Yeah.
exactly. You know, you wear your hat the wrong way, you wear the wrong colors, it cause some kind of issue. You know, and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
all. And it is. I mean, I gotta give like the black men of our generation credits. Like we kind of toned a lot of that down. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
back
yeah.
then, it was antagonism anywhere. Like you see somebody else, you just look at them too long, and it's a problem. You know,
Right.
you step on their shoe, they want to shoot you. Like, and we're not
Man,
exaggerating. This was real stuff. Like, you know, you, So, yeah, there's a lot of things went on back then, but by the grace of God, we still here today. So
and like you said, the culture's changed, man. Because a lot of the kids they sit in the house. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
they don't even go outside to experience those types of things. But again, when I was growing up, man, like for you to leave your bike in front of the neighborhood candy store, that meant you was something. That meant you was a
Yeah.
tough guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
You lined your quarters up on the game machine in the arcade, you can fight. If not, somebody was gonna take your quarters, they was gonna put them in the machine, they was gonna move you off of the arcade machine. That type of stuff was going on, man. That was serious.
Yeah.
I mean, you laughing, I'm serious. I just seen people get their teeth chipped in the
oh yeah,
arcade.
In an
You know,
arcade.
for trying to
Wow.
play tough. Oh, man, get off the game. Man, ain't going nowhere.
yeah,
Wow.
The 90s was just really, really aggressive. That type of stuff
yeah,
don't even happen, man. You know, people real polite now. That's a good thing, though. Like you
yeah,
said,
yeah.
like
It is. Yeah,
times change for the better.
Yeah.
yeah. Back then, you couldn't even really walk through the mall because it's fighting in the mall. They have a carnival. They fighting in the carnival. They taking the mallets and hitting each other with all of that kind of like.
Oh man.
Like it was crazy, but it was like more lively, like the memories are a lot more vivid. Like you mentioned, out a lot of the kids inside playing GTA, Roblox, or whatever they're playing.
Right.
They don't have those
Yeah,
vivid memories. So
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, Kev, like me and you have talked about this before on other shows. Like back when we were kids, I mean, I'm 38, you're 40. Back when we were kids, like you go outside in the summer and you got kids on bikes out front. You got like 10, 15 kids on bikes. You go down a couple streets further, you got a basketball game going on. You got like 20, 30 kids. You go down another corner, you got people playing dice, playing domino, like just every point being, everyone
Anything
was
you can think
outside.
of, a Nerf
Everyone was
football,
outside.
oh yeah,
Anything,
trampoline.
anything. So you were outside. You were definitely outside, and now it's like flipped, where everyone's inside.
Right? Crazy.
man. Back then, it used to be stuff like like collectibles too, like collect baseball cards, basketball cards, X-Men cards.
Ah.
X-Men. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, that was fun. You know what I mean? Or you used to have like a
Oh, don't
sports
have me
magazine.
framed
Yeah.
Man, you remember like this like getting a Source magazine and sometimes they put out
up.
articles and save the article,
The
man.
double XL, the
Oh
whole nine.
yeah, Murder Dog. Remember that?
Oh man, man. I used to actually cut out all of my favorite artists and the video vixens. I made a
Oh,
collage with it in my closet once before.
okay, yeah, man. Who is your top three video ladies of the '90s?
Oh man. Oh man. I'm gonna have to go with Buffy the Body.
Okay,
Um
Melissa
oh,
Ford,
definitely Melissa Ford, man. And I'm missing one.
Esther Baxter.
Asta, for sure.
Wow, yeah,
Absolutely.
I remember seeing the first time on that video, that Petey Pablo video. Man, that was like one of the most beautiful women I ever seen.
And like I said, I had the cutouts, man. I had the cutouts everywhere, bro. Man, I had made a collage in my wall, covered the whole wall because I had so many of them.
Oh
Again,
man,
we used to collect them. You know, I had the source, the double XL. Man, I'm missing one. Was it Smack?
oh Smack didn't
Man,
leave.
man, I had so many. I had so many magazines. And I had to do something with them. They were
Oh
just stacked up everywhere.
man, yeah, those were fun times though. It's just like
Yeah,
collecting stuff, living in the moment. That's kind of what's missing now. Like everybody's in this digital world. Like even talking to women, you know, it's not the same. A lot of people message them over the phone. It's not really in person, and you just sitting and you see a fine one walk by, and
It's not the same.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same.
So hopefully these kids, like they don't get too absorbed in this technology, man.
yeah. That's another reason why I decided to make flyers with QR codes on them so I can actually have more interaction with real people. But don't get me wrong, man. Social media is a great tool to use, man. It really is.
Yeah,
Again, it's quick, it's instant, right?
instant.
Well,
Yeah,
it's nothing like having a face to face interaction with somebody, a real conversation with somebody about music and a real person.
there you go.
You
Yeah,
know, like you'd be surprised, man. I went throughout this entire city, man. I still haven't covered all the ground that I want to cover. But man, people be like, man, I'm surprised to even see you for one. And then two, the music is good and you really know how to hold a conversation with somebody. Like that makes me want
Right.
to support you more, is what I'm saying. So it's like
right.
just getting off social media. I had to give myself a break too, though.
Oh yeah. Like
You
man,
know?
we haven't even really gotten into your music, man. What albums you got coming out?
Man, actually, what I'm doing now is I'm just releasing singles one by one, which I don't even know if it's a game winning strategy or not. Again, I'm still learning as I'm going. But man, again, we're in a microwave era, man. And I just feel as if I dropped a complete album right now, maybe it'd be appreciated, maybe it wouldn't. But I just been dropping singles and I actually got two more projects that I'm about to drop, maybe like in August sometime. You know, I never rush nothing. I'm a perfectionist. I just take my time and really just make sure that it's corrected before I put it out. You know.
Right.
Exactly, man. Where can people find your music at? Like where can they reach out to you at?
Oh man, all digital download sites. I mean, from Tidal to Spotify. Um, of course, I'm on YouTube because the majority of uh of my music has performance videos with it. So I got videos. Well, again, with the majority of my music. Of course, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I'm Chicago's defense on everything.
Okay, CHICAGOS_DEFENSE.
Yes, sir. That's
Okay,
me.
yes, sir. Yeah,
Nice.
man. We at the top of the hour, man. It was a pleasure having you on the show, man. Did you want to leave our audience with any closing thoughts before we shut this down?
Absolutely. Again, I want to thank y'all for having me on. Um, man, again, it's not easy to do music. It's very difficult, but man, you just got to stay steadfast on the journey. Um, Never give up and never quit, man. And I just want to be the living example of what it is and what it looked like to not give up on something that you truly believe in. And that's all I have for you. And I appreciate y'all time. Thank y'all so much, man.
Hey, man, it was definitely
Absolutely.
a pleasure having you on. And that message that you just said, never quit, keep going. That's what me and Brian we've been hearing from a variety of sources. Like it's
Just
like the
keep
sixth or
going.
seventh time we've heard that. So
Keep going. Yeah, we
yeah,
just
it's
keep
something.
hearing that, and it's like, okay, I'll believe it. I'll have faith because I think a lot of people don't have faith these days, but if you really do, I think it's really powerful.
Man, listen to um Chicago State of Mind. I went over Nas's New York State of Mind, and I made it my own twist. That's all I got. Just listen to it, put your ears
Okay.
to it. I promise you, I would never let you down on anything that I stand
Yeah,
behind.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next time. All right.
Thanks,